Cabin 13 Productions.
I mean, I don't know. You go into history though, and there's some brutal kill cams, dude. There's some brutal
Kill cams.
and off into the sky.
You almost lit your ass on
Dude,
fire.
I felt the heat. And shout out to all the firefighters out there. Just while we're talking about them,
They were on an escape route trying to get, to safety, probably, somewhere less hot. When you think about it.
somewhere less hot. It's crazy.
I'm such a loser, sweating God, I'm the worst.
As we head into the new year, we often set goals for improving our lifestyles compared to the previous year. Unfortunately, things don't always go as planned. In Southern California, particularly in Los Angeles, a devastating fire has ravaged not only historical sites cherished by the community, but also the homes of hundreds, if not thousands, of people and animals. This situation hits close to home for us here at the Woodsmen podcast, as it underscores the very real threat that we face in our own community. We regret to start our first episode of Season 4 on such a somber note, but it's important to acknowledge how genuine this fear is and how quickly life can change in just a matter of seconds. So join us on this journey as we navigate these challenges together here at the Woodsman Podcast.
Welcome back to the Woodsman Podcast. We're your hosts, Joey Rucker.
And Brent Murphy, and let me tell you, man, Season 4, full effect.
We're here.
We're here.
It looks a little different. We're in a...
Huh. I wonder if you guys noticed.
I have a picture of my uncle.
I have a picture of me.
That's true.
Which is cool.
That's true.
Which is cool. For our audio listeners,
yes,
we have completely renovated this studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time coming, but it's like every season it gets just a little bit better. So we're excited. We got a lot of stuff on our walls. I will say, as far as portraits, I do have my beautiful portrait from our Christmas episode. Shout out Joey.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, man.
It
is a beautiful portrait that you have made of me.
If you missed it, you should definitely go check out the Christmas special episode. The
Woodsmiss 24. Yeah.
I have a couple things too. I have a couple pictures of my family, my bear family.
Yeah, your bear family.
They're here too, chat.
Gotta love it.
Speaking of the Woodsmiss special, though, I actually have a special housekeeping we have to talk about today.
You do?
That Christmas is not over, baby. It's still time. I'm still in charge because I don't want to take my headphones off. But it's Christmas. Okay, shut up.
Joey just tried to put a Christmas hat on for those who didn't see.
And it didn't work because I had headphones and I didn't want to make it all crazy. But the reason it's Christmas, chat, still, even though it's the new year, it's like January 12th when we're recording this, for those of you wondering, we have a late Christmas present actually dedicated to the Woodsmen, the team here, and it's from one of our friends, Alex.
Oh my gosh.
He gave us a gift. I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
I mean, it's wrapped, so why would we know?
I'm going to shake it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Shatters.
That did not help. That did not help in the slightest. I don't know what it is.
But yeah, so we have to not let the Christmas season die because
Okay.
I'm desperate.
Can I open it?
Go for it, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's dedicated to all three of us, including our boy in the studio, Eric.
Yes. Which, by the way, unfortunately, we're not going to hear our boy Eric today.
Yes.
We've had some
unfortunate news, chat.
Had some difficulties, but don't worry, we're gonna get it fixed at some point soon, and we're gonna get our boy back on mic. But he is currently here in the stew. Dang, you did that one hand like a pro. That's crazy.
Yes, I don't know what it is. Oh
my God. No freaking way. No freaking way.
What is it?
Yo. This one's yours.
Okay.
Dude. Eric, you also have one, bro.
Dude. We asked.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Bro. Wait.
Bro,
Look at these bad
that's
boys.
so good.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's funny because so we asked Eric once, I don't know if it was on air or off air, what his like what his animal spirit would be, like how we have how we have our caricatures for the Woodsmen. And I think you said panther or like a cougar. And so we told Alex that, and he kind of took some creative liberties since we don't have an avatar for you yet. And dude, it looks great. These look so good.
These look beautiful. He even got the colors and everything of what we're wearing.
Yeah, I
in our
know.
logo,
Like the
which is,
jackets,
like, wild.
dude.
Like this is so. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
chat.
I guess I can look over here.
Chat. This is so sick. So this is like our first like fan mail.
This is our first fan art,
This
dude.
is our first fan art.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna have to put these
100%. We're putting this on the wall.
Putting it up.
Easy.
Definitely making it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Alex.
you, Alex. We know you're listening right now, so we appreciate you so much.
I knew Christmas would never die. It'll never die. It's gonna be here for the whole year, right?
So, anyways, now that Christmas is over, we got some other housekeeping to settle.
Okay.
As some of you guys may know, as Joey said, we're recording on the 12th of January, 2025. We actually have to start putting the year because now we have a whole year's worth of
Yes,
stuff.
this is true.
So we have to
That's
start
true.
saying
It's the new
2025.
year.
Los Angeles has been devastated by not one, not two, maybe 3 or 4 different fires that have like consumed a ridiculous amount of LA, which is just crazy. And you know, we love to joke around and everything, but like this is pretty insane. Like this is one of those like came out of nowhere. It just keeps growing, and it is pretty scary.
And all the wind lately is making it even worse.
Yeah, the wind. I mean, if you guys couldn't tell, I sound like death. That's also due to there's a wind and dust and everything up in the air. But you know, we had to power through for our first episode. So if I sound like death, I'm sorry. But we just thought it would be a good idea to maybe hand out some resources for anyone who's out there in LA right now, or anyone who's affected by these fires in general. I know there's quite a bit of podcasts that at least I listen to that, I mean, the podcasters are affected for sure by this. I know Ed and Chris from Scared All the Time. They had to evacuate.
Oh, really?
Richard Haddam, he's in South Pasadena. So that's like super close too. So it's like pretty crazy. Like it's definitely hitting, you know, people that we actually interact with, and you know, it's wild. But if you guys are in any of these areas that you're affected, if you go on Instagram, you can look up at All Power Books. They're acting as a drop-off and a pickup center for all donations. So if you have anything that you can give or spare, or even like just your time, definitely head on out there. They could definitely use the help, and they could definitely use the donations.
It's true. You can also go on Instagram too. It's Bigger Than Us. They're turning their headquarters into a distribution hub that will deliver water to various locations. It's another option if you need to find anything, any resource.
Yeah. And then this last one we have here is at Milos_sanctuary. And this is housing for small and large animals that are in the area, as long as even their owners. So, or as well, not as long. I don't know why I said that. But, you know, they definitely are doing some good things.
Gotta
They're
save
definitely
the
trying to
puppies.
do the most out here, especially, I mean, in a time like this, it would be so devastating to go through anything of this nature, losing your home, losing just anything, you know, in such a shocking, you know, amount of time. It, you know, just came out of nowhere, and now there's so many acres that have been burning with this fire already. So
And it hasn't stopped yet. Like,
No, it
that's
has not
That's the
stopped.
terrifying thing, is that it's still going. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And we obviously we're thinking of everyone over there and everyone who's suffering right now, and we're praying that everything gets as good as it can be.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah. And I mean, we as far as we know, I mean, as far as today, the 12th, we're actually at 6 fires total
Wow.
that's happening right now, and two large ones in the Palisades as well, which is out there in Southern California. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty
Getting
wild.
hit our homeland.
Our homeland, man. We're only an hour away. You gotta think about that. We're not that far. We're not that far from this happening, but I mean, because of that, that's also why we're talking about what we're talking about today. But we'll get into that later. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or inquiries or stories, you can. I totally messed that up.
You're good. Let me try. I got it wrong
Yeah.
last time.
You got it.
If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, stories, or inquiries on Cabin 13 Productions or our studio, head over to thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com. That's the first time I've said that sentence
dude, look
ever
at you.
without stuttering.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Well, you can also interact with us on Instagram and X @WoodsmanPod.
And you can also lastly subscribe, of course, here and to our Patreon for our candid, uncensored show, Back to the Cabin. Patreon.com/thewoodsmanpodcast is where you'll find that.
Dude, I can't believe you. Wow.
Thank you.
You did it.
Thank you.
You did it. That's crazy.
It's a new year, new Woodsman, new me,
you.
new
Heck
me.
yeah, dude. What are some of your New Year's resolutions?
To be able to read. Check.
Check that one off the box. Oh, man. Well, I think that's about it. You ready to dive into this show? This show? Dude, I'm sorry. I'm dying right now.
No, you're good.
All right.
You're good.
Clink.
We are obviously talking today a lot about fires and how that has affected Southern California and how it's affecting us. And, there's going to be some lighthearted moments and some probably downers, like some somber moments, as you said in the intro.
Somberness.
Liked the wording of somber.
Thank you.
But I
Shout out to Grammarly for
Thank
helping me
you,
change up my word
Grammarly.
usage.
But I figure we could start by doing something kind of lighthearted, but also kind of on the same idea of fire and Firewatch and all that stuff. Well, I just said it
Hence
out
the
loud.
name.
Hence the name.
Firewatch.
Firewatch, a very popular game that I have played. You have not finished. Have you started it?
I started it. I haven't finished it, but I've watched like the full playthrough many a time. So
it's
familiar.
a really good game. We thought it was kind of just like it kind of worked with today's topic to discuss because we obviously we here at the Woodsman love video games. We love a good story. We've mentioned many times that Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably the best story game of all time.
100.
And so we wanted to discuss one of our other favorite games, which is Firewatch. And so I'm taking the reins because I've played it and I wanted to talk about it. So what you said you've seen all of it? Like you've seen everything about it? Because this isn't about Firewatch, right? This part of it. Thank you for clarifying, because I was like, oh man, some of my notes in my head are wrong. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, dude, it took place in Southern California where there's a whole bunch of fires that be going on since 2000.
No, it takes place in Wyoming, and it is about a character named Henry whose wife, Julia, just had passed away from sickness, and he needed to get out, get a break from the world, as one would.
Could you say she was down with the sickness?
The
Sorry.
sickness took her down, for that's for sure. And she, so she ended up passing away, and he took a job as a fire watch guard out in the Wyoming forest, where a whole mess of things happen. I don't know if I'm supposed to explain the entire story all in one sitting here, or if we should discuss it a little bit. Have you? Let me try interviewing. Have you ever wanted to be a fire watch guard?
Yeah, actually, 100%. Funny enough, we were listening to an audio drama called Tower 4 by Seven Lamb Productions.
Yes,
Check them
dude.
out, because my God, phenomenal storytelling, phenomenal. You can actually, I think you can find them in our pod roll as well. We have them mentioned on our RSS feed. They're definitely some of our favorites for sure. Take a lot of inspiration on future projects with them. But yeah, I think ever since we started listening to Tower 4, I kind of like fell in love with the romanticized idea of like picking up, leaving, just taking a backpack with you.
Could you do it like for like a long period of time?
Could do it. Well, I think they go in like seasons or whatever. I'm pretty sure
That's
I
fair.
I could do a season.
Do you
Yeah.
think you could do like? Do you think you could commit to that job and lifestyle for like multiple years though? Like you're just like dedicated to like, all right, it's summer again,
Well, if
time
it
to go
wasn't,
be secluded in the forest for another 4 months, 5, 6 months.
I mean, yeah, if it was like if it was seasonal, like you come back at a certain season or whatever, I think I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do it like, okay, go on, get, and you're just out there
Go on, get.
for years, you have no downtime or like, contact with the outside world. I don't know if I could do that, but yeah, I think I could do like if it was a summer job, you got 3-4 months out there.
No, I mean I think I could do it too. I think I would enjoy the seclusion aspect of it all and getting away from the world and stuff like that. This character in the game, he kind of went to escape. I don't know if I would go to escape the world necessarily. Maybe just to find change would be my goal. Would you have a certain goal in mind going out there for that long and having no interaction except like those at other posts? Because that's another thing that happens in the game is that when he gets to the Firewatch station, his main only other contact for all those months is like another watchtower within radio signal range.
Yeah.
And so he's stuck talking to the same person for the next couple months, and he never sees their face.
I mean, well, to answer your question, I think the goal would definitely be to maybe find myself or like, find a piece of you or whatever that you probably couldn't find unless you were out there secluded on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that would definitely probably be my reasoning, but I don't think having one person to contact would be fun. I think maybe I need a little bit
You don't
more.
think like, and spoiler for not only Firewatch and Tower 4, the podcast, definitely disclaimer for Tower 4 because that show's still only like blowing up recently for people, somewhat recently.
Yeah.
You don't think you'd maybe like fall in love with the random voice in your radio?
No.
No.
I think part of that though is like when you're so secluded for so long, you have nothing or no one else to talk to.
It's like a weird form of what's that one syndrome?
Like Stockholm
syndrome. It's like a different version of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because then you get out of the forest and it's like, do I still like this person now that I have
Mhm.
contact with all these other
Mhm.
people? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that would be the move, but
Not for you.
No, would you?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
lonely. So,
Probably. Probably.
Who's to say, chat? Who's to say? Hit me up if we're ever on the same radio signal.
Don't say that. You might get some weirdos like
It's
hitting you up, bro.
It's true.
They're like, hey, I heard you were looking for some love. I'm 51 and
I watch your podcast.
yeah, I don't know.
My
Be a
favorite animal's a bear.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't know about
That's
that
a
one.
whole new meaning. But okay, so moving back to the game, I'm not gonna like take up the whole episode on this game, but
The game you're spitting?
this game I'm spitting, dude.
Yeah.
Firewatch is an absolutely great game. I love it so much. It's got a great story. I don't want to like spoil the
visually
entire-
stunning.
visually amazing. I totally think everybody should play it. I think one of the craziest things to me is the twist at the end, which is sort of that, much like Tower 4, the podcast, though Tower 4 did it differently. Firewatch has this moment where the Firewatch guards feel like they're being threatened by an alternative source of power. I use that term lightly because Tower 4
Yeah.
is really nuts, whereas
Yeah, Tower 4
Firewatch
is
it's just
wild.
like some guy who's messing with them. And in that game you basically come to find out that do I spoil the game? I don't know how the game's old. I feel like I'll spoil Firewatch. I won't really go into anything about Tower 4.
Yeah, don't spoil Tower 4, but definitely, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Firewatch is at the point now where
Firewatch is just a great game because you find out that there used to be a boy and a father. The father used to be one of the watch guards, and they eventually stopped coming back to do the Firewatch sessions, and that's why Henry came in to take over that job. And you find out that this person who's messing with Henry, and Delilah is the name of the other person in the tower. Just bless you, buddy. Bless you.
thanks.
You basically find out that the child of the old Firewatch guard, which I think the child's name was Brian, the Firewatch guard's name was Ned. They both went like, what is it called? Caving? Cave
Splunking?
climbing? Yeah. And Brian, the son, actually tripped and fell and passed away. I don't know why Brent's smiling. That is so.
It's just the way you said it.
It's our first day back.
So he tripped and died. Go on.
Sorry, chat.
We're just getting over like a very terrible sickness too.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry for all this.
Any laugh induces coughing. That's kind of
Any coughing induces me having to blow my nose, which I'm going to refrain from doing. So
yes, the kid tripped and died.
got it. Got it. Down a cliff.
Right down a cliff.
Got it.
Bottom of a cave.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Keep going.
And so the dad decided that he couldn't return back to the normal world because he was heartbroken, and he like set up this camp in the Wyoming woods.
Thought you were gonna say in the cave his son tripped and died in.
No, sick enough. He just left that kid in there.
Sick enough. That's crazy. It's worse than funny enough.
I
he
promise
actually just left the body in there.
It's a really good game. I'm not.
No, it's good. It's a good ass game. It's just the way
you basically find
is...
out that the person messing with Henry and Delilah is that it's Ned, because he's trying to scare them away because he doesn't want to face what happened to his son. He doesn't want to face reality. He wants to stay hidden forever. He doesn't want to face the real world anymore. So he's trying to scare them away by messing with them. But eventually they get too close, not only because of just, personal ventures in the game, but because there's actually a wildfire that goes on in the game that kind of pushes them back and forces them to evacuate the forest. And so by the end, Delilah and Henry both find out the truth about what happened to Brian, and they both evacuate the forest, and the game sort of ends somberly, I would say.
Nice.
And I've always, since we're talking about Firewatch, I've always hated the ending, actually, because the whole story is beautiful. The twist at the end where you find out the truth about the son is great. Like you said, the visuals are stunning. Everything's great. What I hate is that you grow this bond with this person as a player. Yeah. When you're playing as Henry, you grow this bond with the person named Delilah in the other watchtower, and you never see her face. Not only does the character never see it, but you never see it as the player.
Well, yeah, and you start talking to her, I think, literally from the beginning
from
of the
the
game.
From the very
too,
start, yes. And
because she tells you how to get there or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when the fire is kind of getting to a place where it's unsafe,
she burns to a crisp.
No. She trips and dies.
She trips and dies at the same cliff. No. Sorry, cave.
She is hurt by all of the things she has found out about Brian and the truth of it all. And so instead of waiting for Henry to make it to her watchtower, so filled with emotion and just distraughtness, she ends up getting on the helicopter without Henry and makes him wait for the next helicopter. And so they never get to meet. That's never wild. Get to meet the character. And I just am like,
it's low-key petty.
It's petty, it's sad, it's stupid, and I hated it, but it's such a good game. All of you should play it. I love it.
I love it. Well, not only are we gonna talk about Firewatch, I guess I won't laugh. No, no,
About the kid who died.
Yeah, no, that's funny. But no, because of all the recent fires, we might as well say why we're talking about all this.
Yes.
Because of these recent fires, we decided, because a lot of people are now looking up all of these fires, trying to figure out, resources, all this kind of stuff, trying to figure out how bad everything is. We decided, since fires are pretty close to home all the time for us, especially where we live, we decided maybe we should bring up some of these like destructive fires that have like happened like throughout the years.
Yes.
So we got these California fires. These ones are like mostly all maybe not all Southern California, but they're definitely, from California in general. And they all span from the year 2000, because apparently from 2000 to now, it's been some of the worst fires we've ever had, which is insane. So when you look at Southern California, we have experienced several catastrophic, gosh, wish I knew how to read.
It's okay. I'm learning this year.
We have experienced several catastrophic fires and wildfires since 2000, and they've all caused pretty significant amount of destruction, people losing their lives, economic damage. There's so much that goes into everything that happens with these fires. It's not just the homes, but you got to think about the wildlife. You got to think about what it does to our ecosystem, how it reshapes the
It's
ecosystem.
so bad for the wildlife, dude.
Like
I can't.
they don't know what's going on. They're, think of all those little raccoons, those little squirrels and everything, bro. They're just vibing, and then their homes are gone too.
Why is it
Like,
why is it hot outside? Anybody the
Yeah,
frogs
you know,
sitting there talking to each other?
like, dang, bro.
Ooh.
Let's go to the pond for a swim or something, and like there's no pond now. So like
pond.
so it's crazy. But I just thought we'd bring up some of these crazy fires, man.
Sure.
So we got number one on the list right now. We have the 2003 Cedar Fire.
Cedar.
This happened in October of 2003, obviously, hence the name. And it was actually located in San Diego County. So like I said, not all Southern California for these ones, but definitely California and pretty
Sure.
close to home. So the size of this fire, bro, 280,000 acres
Oh my
were burned,
god, dude, that's nuts.
which is just insane. But when you
You
think
know,
about,
Can I
Yeah.
just pause for
Of course,
a second?
of course.
You know how I said I could read?
yeah,
What I can't do is math, and what I want to know is what the hell is an acre?
don't ask me, bro.
Okay.
I don't know how to math either. I don't need you to.
Okay.
I need you to bring that up. That's just a lot. It's just a lot of acres.
280,000 of them though.
Yeah, 280,000.
Burning down.
It sounds like a lot. It's got to be a lot, man. I mean, even 280,000
Yeah,
centimeters
yeah.
is a lot of centimeters, so
So
it's got to be big. Well, as far as casualties go, though, there's only 15 deaths. I say only. That's a lot, but like when you see the number 280,000, 15 is quite a good number.
Yeah,
I would
no,
say
it
is
could've
quite a
been
good
much
number.
more.
But when you look at how
Oh,
many
that's so
homes
many
were
homes,
destroyed,
though, dude. So many
4,500 homes destroyed. So you got to think too, because that's not 4,500 like people. That's like families. That's like, you could have like up to 6 people in a home or something, So it's like think of all the lives that have been destroyed.
We're also getting word here from our main man in the chair that an acre is 43,560 square feet.
Now,
A single acre.
and
there were 280,000 of them.
but what's a square foot?
I think it has something to do with like a sectioned off area.
No, yeah, you're right. I just don't know. I don't know how to calculate that.
I think it's wow. This is gonna really show our colors here because I think it's like a square section of land, and the amount of feet you can put in it is that many feet.
Yeah, sure. I
Let's
don't.
let's get me off the camera.
Yeah.
Let's go over to Brent's face. Don't you worry.
So, the cause of this
Yeah.
fire,
Oh,
it
you have
was-
the causes too. Okay,
yes,
cool,
yes,
cool.
I did find causes, which was nice. Well, not nice, but
Not
you know, yeah,
nice,
you
but
get
yeah,
it, you
yeah.
get it. The fire was sparked by a lost hunter who started a signal fire,
Oh
but it
no,
caught
really?
the forest on fire. Yeah.
Oh shoot.
So I mean, like, imagine how bad he's got to feel. You know, he's like lost. He's trying to signal
And he's just
people.
like, I just need to find help. I'm at the end of my rope.
And instead, he made a lot of people find help. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, dude, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine something like that, dude.
Wow.
But it was like the largest wildfire in California's record history at the time. And it caused, obviously, severe destruction to both homes and the wildlife habitat, especially when, you know, you think of it as a hunter. It started in the middle of the forest.
Mm.
So it's like it just branched out, man. It just branched out. We also got from my man behind the chair. A square foot is a unit of measurement. Oh, thank you. I knew that.
I
one.
got that part.
And it was represented. It represents the space within a square that measures 1 foot on each side. Okay, so
That's practically right.
so 4 feet, but then it's like the area within the 4 feet
Yeah,
of square.
yeah.
You know. Okay.
So like,
You were close. You were
what's
close.
40? Okay, man in the chair. While I move on to the next fire. What's 43,000? Now go up. What's 43,560 times 280,000?
Ooh.
I want to know that so we can know like just how crazy this was. But moving on while he does that, let's talk about another crazy fire. 2007 was the Witch Creek fire. This happened obviously in 2007. Brent wrote the
For real?
script, and I want to know, does every fire start with the year it happened? Because I think we can guess when the hell it happened.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think there's some that don't.
Okay, just wanted to check. The 2007 Witch Creek fire happened in
2007.
2007. It happened. This is also San Diego County. Wasn't
Yeah.
the first one also in the San Diego County?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Wow,
San Diego's got it rough.
got it rough. This man, so many acres still. This one in particular was a little less than the last fire, but it took out 197,000 acres. Still like a lot.
Dude, I couldn't
Casualties.
imagine.
Well, there were much less damage though. I wonder what the actual area was like that got burned, because in this case in particular, there were only 2 deaths and about 1,125 homes destroyed. Cause, my favorite part, not that it's good, but my favorite tidbit about history is the cause. Likely started by dry conditions and a strong Santa Ana winds.
So that's what we got right now.
Yeah, and
The
that's
winds
honestly
are-
what's kicking our butt right now too, honestly.
Yeah.
I said honestly too many times. Now I hate myself.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. I understand.
Thanks. Honestly though.
Oh, I love
Oh
it.
man. Impact. Let's talk about the impact that this had on people and the world. This fire, along with others during the same period, was part of the 2007 Southern California wildfire season, which collectively burned hundreds of thousands of acres across the state. Jeez, it's crazy, dude. Now, if I could interrupt us for a word from the man in the chair. I asked 43,560 square feet times 280,000 feet,
Ooh.
or square feet, yeah, whatever, is 12. Was that billion?
Yep.
Yeah, 12,196,800,000 square feet.
So a lot.
That first one in 2003 was really bad,
Yeah. Kind of rough.
and this is all Southern California.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Everything
because,
is in California.
Oh wow.
We have
Dude,
fires.
I was chilling
We
at that
have
time. I
fires.
had no clue. I was sitting there like, this pudding's pretty good. Like,
Why pudding? Why was that the first thing to come to mind?
I don't know. I was like 3 years old. I probably
Were you
liked
just smacking
pudding.
down on pudding that often?
Probably. What was it?
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Applesauce, pudding, and milk.
It's the
dude.
applesauce, that makes sense.
Applesauce was so good.
I wasn't sitting here eating pudding.
Why can't I eat pudding? What's so wrong? It's starting, chat. 2025. We're already here making fun of Joey's eating habits. This was when he was 3 years old.
Hey, didn't you have a
Oh,
New Year's goal for that last year? No?
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, you had the goal to lose weight. What do you weigh now?
A decent bit. I'll give you that.
Did you lose any? All right, so moving on.
This is
Moving
such a
on.
fun segment.
I got
Let's-
my answer. I love you though.
Thanks.
So we're gonna flash forward from 2007. We got 10 years later. We got the Thomas Fire, which happened in December of 2017. The location was in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties, so pretty close. You know, Ventura is like LA area, so
Mhm.
kind of like what we're experiencing right now. The size was 281,893 acres. So
Bigger than
pretty
the
big one.
2003.
But same with casualties though. Only 2 deaths.
Wow.
And about 1,000 give or take structures destroyed. And the cause was possibly linked to a down power line or an equipment
Oh,
malfunction. So unfortunately, you know, just little
so
things can
far,
end up.
The only one like truly done by a single person or persons is the person who was trying to like
Signal for help.
signal for
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
It's good to know that not all these insanely massive fires are not linked to like any foul play.
Don't worry, some are. Some are that we'll get to.
Okay.
Yeah. But it became like the largest wildfire in California's modern history at the time. Again, the 2003 one was the biggest one, but when you jump to 2017, that's the ticket, bro. So, it was one of the biggest at the time, and it displaced tens of thousands of people, bro, as well as causing millions of dollars in damage,
Wow.
which is just insane. But you know, I see the number millions of dollars, and I'm thinking if it was in Ventura, that's not as much damage as I would think, you know, because homes right now in 2025 they're
They're
selling
going-
for millions
They're
easy.
going for a lot.
So it's like
Yeah.
I either things have gone up in just a couple years, or
I
it
heard.
just wasn't as much damage as I was anticipating.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you though. The pricing and the money these days is getting so crazy that. Although this is 2017, was it all? I mean, it was still high for 2017.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything much about Ventura, so I don't.
It's like a beach city.
Oh
Yeah,
it's
that's what
not
I
that
mean.
much
That's
money.
what I mean. Like,
They're
I
fine.
think of Laguna and like some of those
They're
houses
good.
are selling for like
They're good.
15 to 20 mil easy
Those houses are so freaking expensive.
for no reason, bro.
Not to put down what the fire damage that potentially happened to any of you, chat, but if you lived out there in 2017, but you have to admit,
You have to admit, when you look at prices now, millions is nothing. Millions is absolutely nothing.
Oh, you gotta love the famous year for this next one, the year of all years, folks, 2020.
Woo!
The August Complex Fire. This happened in Mendocino.
Yep.
National-
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Mendocino National Forest. Though its impacts were felt regionally. Size was 1,032,648 acres. Though it affected Southern California indirectly. There was only one death, which
Wow.
is absolutely crazy for how big of a fire that is. And significant damage to forest areas were caused from it. Lightning strikes also were caused, igniting multiple wildfires again, which eventually merged into a single massive blaze. Oh my gosh, dude, this
It's just one after
sounds
another.
like the end of the world. I mean, well, as we stated, this was 2020. It actually
It felt
kinda
like
adds
it.
up.
It
Yeah.
felt like it.
The fire was the largest in California history and led to devastating air quality across the state, including Southern California.
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember
Oh,
2020.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
yeah. I think I even remember at that time, like the sky was just gray
Oh, yeah.
for like a long time, like a long time.
Mhm.
You know, we thought it was like, oh, the marine layer. We don't live by the beach. That was no marine layer. That was just straight smoke, dude. Just
It was
inhaling smoke.
so bad.
Oh, dude,
Was
uh,
that the same time that like going around there were like areas where maybe I'm thinking of something else, but where like the skies were literally orange for some
no,
people.
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
that the same thing? Was that this
Probably, yeah,
event?
2020.
Because oh man, I remember people like coming out of their houses and it looked like the world was ending. You
Yeah.
know, and oh man, it didn't get like that bad here. Like at least where we were at. I mean, like you said, the air quality was bad, like gray skies, stuff like that. But
We were still fortunate enough to be away from it to where
Mhm.
we didn't have to worry about evacuating or anything like that. But we have had some fires where we have had to do that. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but I mean,
I've
when I was young, we had to get evacuated.
Mm.
We actually have that fire in this list as well. But it's scary. I mean, it's scary not knowing, you know, you got to leave to go to a resource center or something, and you don't know if, like, when you get back, you're going to have a house anymore. Like,
I don't think I've ever personally, from my memory, had to actually evacuate. Thankfully. So I don't have the memory of having to leave the house. Maybe we had to at some point when we were young, depending on the fire, but I don't remember anything getting that bad. At least where I live. Yeah, not that I can remember.
I mean, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I think it might be because you don't live, like, as close to the mountain. See, like, where we're at right now, we're, like, literally 2-3 blocks away from a
Mhm.
mountain that, like, is notorious for catching on fire all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like it's quite scary. It is a quite scary thing to go through. And I mean, I was little, so I didn't really understand. So I couldn't imagine being a parent or our age.
Yeah.
Like everything you own could potentially be gone. Like, nah, couldn't imagine. But you have a year later, you got the Woolsey fire, which happened in November of 2018, and that was also in Ventura. Oh my gosh, dude, LA
Oh,
just can't catch a
they-
break, dude.
So this isn't like even the first time LA has really gone through like massive
Yeah, yeah.
flights of this kind of issue,
But I mean, like, thankfully with this one was only 96,000 acres, almost 97.
Yeah, not
So it's
nearly
like
as much.
not nearly as
Not
much
even
as
nearly
a
as much
1
as like the
million.
2003 fire either.
Yeah. But that resulted in 3 deaths, so that was actually more.
That's so crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
It's got to be like location. It's got to be like some of these more in forest areas,
Mm-hmm.
and then some of these got to be in like more residential, like, because some of those, I mean, a 1 million acre fire and only 1 death. It's like that's crazy.
Wow.
But you had 3 deaths with this one and 1,500 structures destroyed, and the cause was the PG&E electrical equipment is suspected for being involved.
Mm.
So I'm gonna assume like just electrical, maybe
Yeah.
a failure, or,
Still
something
not
having to do with
completely foul
that.
play yet, not completely.
No foul play yet, which is good. The impact was definitely a lot of homes in Malibu were unfortunately destroyed
Mm.
and in the surrounding areas, and that led to significant evacuations as well. And it also severely impacted the Malibu coastline as well. So it's quite a bit, man. This is
Pretty
quite a
nuts.
bit.
Then and this next one that you've brought to the table for us is actually going a little bit like a jump back in time now. Talking about the King Fire, which is a crazy name.
Yeah, the King Fire.
The King Fire happened in August to October time in 2014. This happened in the El Dorado County, the northeast of Southern California, but part of the overall state wildfire context. What? I don't know what that means, but This was also not nearly as large, 97,000 acres. I mean, I say not nearly as large, but as we did the math earlier,
It's quite large. It's quite
97,000
large.
acres is quite big.
Nothing's bigger than the million.
That one's
Acre,
nuts.
like, yeah,
that one's
that's-
absolutely crazy. Thank God there's no casualties from this one in particular, but there were 12 homes destroyed, which honestly, I was thinking about this. That's almost just as bad as dying. Like, can you imagine your entire household, your well-being, your entire life as you know it burnt to the ground?
You literally have to start over.
It's a complete chain. Yeah. Where do you go? What do you do? Like,
Well, and especially with how things are going right now, like for anyone who does live in like Southern California area that's listening, all of our fire insurance is gone. Conveniently, gone months before a catastrophic fire like this happens. Which again, the conspiracy side of me is saying, as if that wasn't planned. You know, but it's just, yeah. I'm not gonna go into that. I'll talk about that all day, but you know, it's definitely one of those. It does not surprise me in the slightest that some of this
Fair,
stuff is going
fair.
on when your insurance is being taken away.
valid.
But
valid. The cause of this particular fire was arson.
Yep. So this is
Finally,
one.
this
We
fire
got
was
one.
intentionally set by a suspect. Became a huge concern from nearby communities and led to heavy evacuations and long-term environmental damage. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I will never understand what people are thinking when they're like, "Let me intentionally set this fire."
I don't get it.
Like-
It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. Like, the amount of damage it causes, the amount of lives potentially lost or ruined.
Ruined, yes. Like, think of how many lives you're ruining with something like this. Like, this is just, I don't know. I will never understand. I mean, I'm in a group on Facebook that talks about, I guess it's like kind of like the neighborhood app or whatever, but it's just a group like on Facebook where people just come together. They, from the area,
Mhm.
but just seeing how many people's lives were affected by just having the power out for a week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people
Yeah.
who weren't affected by a fire, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? How do
Yeah.
I get
We-
ready for work?
We
How do
run
I
out
do
of
thi-
power
like, what
and we
it-
resort
resort.
back to caveman era.
Yeah, we
it-
just
it's
don't know how to live
ridiculously
without
sad.
powers. Like, we
Power's
just don't.
gone, and you're like, how do I make food?
That's why you need a gas stove, buddy. That's why you need a gas stove. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
food gone.
Our man Eric behind the table just mentioned, just losing all the food in your
Mhm.
fridge. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when
It's
you go
so
out and
hard.
you pay for a full fridge worth of groceries, easily $600.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
Easy.
Mhm.
I mean, eggs are like how much now? For no reason? Like, why? Like, yeah. Oh, yep. The bird flu stuff going on right now. Yeah. See, dude, we're going through an apocalypse right now, guys.
I was telling you before we recorded today that some people are like saying that 2025 is sort of going to be the new 2020, and how there's just a lot of weird things happening this year, and a lot of bad vibes.
A lot of bad vibes all around the table. Yeah, right before this, we went and got some food, and we were just talking about all the crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and we just brought up, with the bird flu getting contracted by cats. Cats are dying and stuff from it too, because you have poultry like within their, all their food, and then it's like, well, if they don't die, then they could pass it off to another animal, and then sooner or later we're gonna end up with this big old mess, dude, and it's gonna, I don't know, we're gonna have a lockdown because of it. Dude, beats me. I got no idea what's going on.
I will not be locked down again.
I refuse.
I was never really that guy in the
No,
pandemic.
you
The
weren't.
first time
You
where I
were
was just
not.
like, oh, all right, I'm locked up. I guess I'll stay. I'm not doing that again.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, you're an odd case because you didn't get any vaccines or anything like that. Your whole family got COVID, and your brother was walking into your room, and Joey never got it.
Stronger than COVID.
You never got it. And I'm just like,
I
that
beat
is
COVID's
crazy.
ass.
I hope you get it, like, super late in the game. Like just
like right now.
yeah, like you know where you can get like just a shot, like a like a flu vaccine or something. Like,
Dude,
but I want you to get it like super late in the game for me to just be like,
because
haha,
I ate
told
dirt
you
as
so.
a kid, bro.
That's
I
facts.
I took the natural remedy.
You eat enough dirt, bro. It'll solve all your problems, I guess. Well,
Oh,
let's
man.
speed through these last two we got
Sure,
here. I'm actually gonna
This
jump down to
name
the
is cool.
2021.
Okay,
Just
okay.
just because we're doing a lot of back and forth, but
Yeah, yeah.
we have a 2020 and a 2021 fire. But the 2020 fire is called the Silverado fire. That happened in October of 2020, and that was located in Orange County. So that's like our beach areas that we have over here.
Mm-hmm.
The size was, only 13,000 acres. Again, not only, it's a lot, but compared to, again, the 1 million acre, nothing
Yeah.
I think is going to compare to that one in my mind. But
Absolutely. This one's puny.
now this one was
compared.
good, though. This one was good because no one died. Unfortunately, 2 firefighters were injured, but
Wow.
no one died, and there were no buildings or anything
Yeah,
that were
no.
involved, which is it's pretty cool. And shout out to all the firefighters out there. Just while we're talking
Absolutely.
about them, this is terrifying. I could not imagine your job being like, I'm going to run into
Yeah.
this inferno.
Shameless plug
like-
to what makes a superhero, where we
Heck
definitely
yeah.
mentioned that the firefighters are some of the most real superheroes.
You got
in the
balls,
real
guys.
world.
You got balls because
You
there's
guys, yeah.
yeah. It takes a very special person, a very brave person, to do that stuff, and you're doing it solely to help other people and to like
Mhm.
save other people. Like I just saw TikTok. Literally, I think it was today or yesterday, where the firefighters are out here battling these fires, trying to get these fires out on these homes to try and salvage them. And wanna know what they're doing, bro?
Hmm.
They're out here saving people's photo books. They are taking the time while they're in these houses
I saw
to
this.
grab
yes,
as
I
many
saw
like
this
photo
video.
books and stuff.
There's a video
and
you said?
yeah, and like
Mhm.
run them out. And simply because they're like they're losing everything anyways.
Yeah.
The least I can do is try and save like the core memories they can't get back.
I can't-
And I'm just like, dude, like
Ugh.
that like brings a tear to my eye, bro, because
Dude,
it's just like, oh
they're
my
the
gosh, I
real
couldn't imagine.
heroes,
Like I
dude.
couldn't imagine, you're putting your life at risk just by being there. And the one thing you're thinking of is like, well, there's no people in this building, but I could definitely try and help these people by, doing something like that. It's just wow. I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine
absolutely.
something like that, dude. But the cause was undetermined. But it was thought to have been linked to dry conditions. As anyone who lives in California knows, especially in Southern California, I don't even remember the last time we had a thick rain enough to
Mhm.
get us out of a drought. I
Which
feel like
is-
we've always been in a drought, to
Which
be
is
honest.
funny though, because I can remember the last time it snowed. Because last time it snowed, it was a blizzard here, which was
Yeah.
really
And
strange.
it's-
But we get no rain.
But don't worry, global warming don't exist though.
It doesn't.
It
It's
doesn't
not
exist,
real.
bro. It's not real. Sorry,
It's
just
okay, it's
dying over here.
okay.
But we got this last one. I'm gonna say this is the last one
Mhm.
for this section. We have the 2021 Creek Fire. This happened in between September and October of 2020, and it was in Fresno County. So this one wasn't in Southern California, but Fresno is about like 3 hours away, something like that. So, it's a little like San Diego County, not over
Mhm.
here, but definitely close. This size definitely jumped up. We're looking at a staggering 379,000 acres with this one. So very
Ah.
big jump.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
easy.
Easy.
But fortunately though, only one death with this one. And
Fortunately.
there were structures destroyed, but not
There's
nearly as much
actually
as some of
quite a
them.
lot. Oh no, we've had actually more.
We've
haven't
had s-
we?
yeah, we've
like
had
in
quite
the
a bit.
thousands to 2000s.
Yeah,
of houses.
But this one's at a 856. So didn't hit the thousands, still quite a bit to go through. Again, this was likely due to human activity. So you guys if you guys set this fire.
Yeah, you guys are kind of trash.
Yeah, but I guess we're gonna be generous and say those specifics are still under investigation, which is
No.
crazy. Wait, because this is 2021.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is very much still probably
It's pretty
under
recent,
investigation.
yeah.
Only 3 years ago, which is just I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for people
I
who are
have
out here
none,
just
not a
starting
single
fires like
inch of
that. Like,
sympathy when it comes to people like this. I mean,
it's like, yeah, people make mistakes as far as like, having a bonfire or something and something sparks and that, that's different. But if you're intentionally out here, like you could have done anything to vandalize property. You could have
Mhm.
like tagged property. You could have, smashed a window or something.
yeah.
You're going to just start a fire?
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell's wrong with you? Like wait, like genuinely, like I don't understand the thinking process behind that. But
That should be the new Bear Fact segment. The new Bear
facts.
Fact segment should be "What the hell's wrong with you?"
What the
And
hell
it'll
is
be a
wrong
new
with you,
story
dude?
every week
Of
about
just dumb people doing
dumb
dumb
people
things,
and
dude.
how we hate them and why we hate them.
Amen, brother. What no really grinds my gears. You,
Exactly.
America,
You.
But the fire did cause significant damage, and it led to the destruction of pretty much entire communities, which is, which is a lot when you really think about how few some of the structures were compared to others. But like destroying entire communities, that means like it had to have hit certain places like heavy, like heavy, which is just so unfortunate. Again, I mean, if you're going through something like this, you can't even like turn to your neighbor in a time of need or anything, because it's devastating everybody
Yeah.
at the same time, which is just wow. But it was also further compounded by high winds again and drought. So if you guys are seeing a
Yeah.
reoccurring factor here, dryness and wind have been the leading
God, we
factors.
could use some rain.
We could really
We could really
use
use
some rain.
please.
But dude, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. But these fires represent pretty much just a snapshot of the growing wildfire risk that we do have out here, especially in Southern California. And it's fueled by a combination of the factors, including, again, drought, strong winds, dry vegetation, and climate change. So, we got a lot of stuff going on that, contributes to this. I am pretty happy that out of all of those, there was only one arson? One? There was like
one
arson
legitimate
and then
arson.
one where they're
One where it's like
they're under
kinda,
investigation. But I am happy to see that there's not that many assholes out there that are out here causing these fires, especially these big ones. But
yeah.
it's a combination of a lot of things, and it's a combination of a lot of things that we hear about every single year. Like especially where we live, we hear about dry weather, dry vegetation, no rain, like drought. We hear this like constantly. I mean, we live right next to the San Bernardino Mountains, and I'm pretty sure every single time I've driven up there, it says the fire risk is high. So it's like it only takes one.
Yeah, every time. It's like you said, the dry vegetation and everything. It's just like it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, especially again like with winds like we've been having. It only takes one spark for something bad to happen, and it'll.
I mean, we just had that fire recently that was actually caused by arson.
Oh, was it
just recently over
the one that we
by
drove?
Isaac's place?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh my,
Yeah.
how did I forget about that?
That one
Yeah,
was crazy, and it got
right
really
next to
big.
the San Manuel Casino.
It got up to, I want to say, like in the 20s of thousands of acres.
Dude.
So not like crazy big, but like for our home, like
Yeah.
it put it into perspective.
Oh,
how
I
big
mean,
those
it
acres.
definitely we got the evacuation notices. Like, oh hey,
was bad.
like if this turns, you
Yeah,
guys gotta go.
yeah.
You got. I mean, and our boy Isaac, he was
He was-
really close. I mean, you
I'm
could see the flames from
shocked
his house.
Isaac did not have to evacuate because
I'm-
there were
yeah.
people like in certain sectors of where he lived that did have to evacuate.
Yeah.
It was just like wherever they were at, it was kind of like not necessary. But
I couldn't imagine, bro. I couldn't imagine potentially just losing everything. It just is mind blowing, to be honest. But let's take a little break here. We'll come back to the next section where we'll be talking about the Inland Empire and and all the fires that be happening right in our backyard. So
love that.
stay tuned. So we're going to bring this fire topic in a little bit closer to home, as if it wasn't close enough with all of those crazy ass fires.
Mhm.
But I thought with how many fires we do be having around us, I had to look up just how many fires do we have in the Inland Empire.
Is it a lot?
Spoiler alert, it's it's astonishing how many we have over here.
Oh no.
It is quite literally insane, especially taking it from the first fire on this list, which also
Oh,
happens
yes.
to be one of the fires that I got evacuated from.
Oh.
It's the 2003 Old Fire. This happened in October of 03, and it happened in San Bernardino County, near San Bernardino and the surrounding areas.
Dang.
So this is a 91,000 acre fire. So
This one
pretty big.
This one actually has a lot more deaths than
Yeah.
some of the other ones we were looking at. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a lot, it's not crazy, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So this one, we got 6 deaths, and 4 of them were firefighters, which, wow. Wow.
It's a shame.
And
Rest
1,000
in
homes and structures were destroyed with this fire. So quite a bit when you think San Bernardino County. I mean, this was like, in residential type, And again, let's give another big you to you guys.
Oh,
But this one was caused by
no.
arson.
Dude,
This one was arson.
I'm so ashamed of our own homeland. Our own homeland letting us down, like, burning us to the ground.
Did you really expect anything less, though? Like, did you really expect
No, I
anything less?
didn't.
But the fire spread rapidly again due to high winds, and it forced thousands of evacuations, and it caused significant damage to homes, businesses, and just, in the foothills surrounding San Bernardino. So it was unfortunately a lot, but, we're here. We made it. We were 3. We were 3 when it happened. So it's
Yeah, so I literally have no recollection.
I don't know
I don't
what we're
remember
talking
anything
about.
before 4.
That's
personally.
crazy.
Do you remember things back then?
Yeah, I remember like things around 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, my first like conscious memory is me waking up from a nightmare at the age of 4. Like, it was it's the first like
Interesting.
memory I have of being self-aware of me being a person.
One of my first self-aware moments was me in the hallway, and I myself while trying to crawl to the bathroom, and I got yelled at so bad, bro, by
That's
my
one of your first
yeah. And I even remember I was like, oh man, I gotta poop. Let me start crawling over there. I could walk. I don't know why I
Just
decided
felt
to
like
crawl.
crawling.
And yeah, let's just say I didn't make it. I didn't make it to
Wow.
the toilet, and I sharted my pants. So yeah, it's a fun time. But moving on from there, we got
Moving on.
3 years before, or I'm sorry, 3 years after that, we got the Esperanza fire. Now, do you want to read
Sure.
about this one?
This one happened in 2006. This happened over in Riverside County near Cabazon and the San Bernardino National Forest.
Okay, so that was around kind of like on your way to Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, oh man, it's dry out there.
Yeah,
It's
a
so
desert.
dry.
It's a
so
straight desert.
Freaking
Yeah.
hot. Oh, I can't- I'm surprised
You took
that
your
it,
driving test.
yes, I did take my
over
driving
by
test
there.
over in that area, and I failed it.
So, anyways,
it was about 40,000 acres in total. Casualties were 5 U.S. Forest Service firefighters. Wow, all killed from the. Oh my god!
And of
this
course
one,
they're-
it's freaking arson, dude.
Oh my god, dude! All the IE ones, all the IE ones are just
Like,
all ghetto ass
what
fools,
the
like starting
hell?
fires, like.
It's so ridiculous. Like, why do people do this?
Well, and like think about that too. Think about that sentence under casualties: 5 U.S. Forest Service firefighters, which means no one else perished. This was the people who were out here trying to stop
people
the fire.
trying to actually fight
They're the ones
against
that
it
get
all,
killed.
yeah.
Like, and it's murder. To me, it's murder. Like, you ultimately caused their death. Like,
Mhm.
for sure.
No,
Like,
absolutely. Arson, literally, if anyone dies, it's murder.
Yeah.
Because
You're
you
a shit
can't- you
person.
can't
You are a
convince
shit
me
person.
otherwise.
Like, dude, nah.
The impact was that this fire is infamous for the tragic deaths of the firefighters who were caught in an emergency escape route during the blaze. Oh, so they were even trying to get out. It also destroyed a large section of the forest land and threatened communities in San Bernardino Mountains. Like,
It's sad, dude. It's like so. Like,
to hear
chat,
that
I
they were
know-
trying to get out is also just so sad.
Yeah.
Like
on an escape route.
they were
like,
on an escape route trying to get, to safety, probably somewhere less hot when you think about
You're
it.
somewhere less hot. It's crazy. Somewhere less. Well, yeah, I would assume so. I would assume so. Oh my god. Chat, we told you we were gonna keep it a little light, and let me tell you, I wasn't ready for that one. That's crazy. No, but
Oh.
I mean, I'm sorry. It bothers me so much. I'm gonna, every time I see the word arson, it's just gonna make me mad. But it's like, I just could not imagine, like, especially being a firefighter. Like, think of the families, bro. Think of, like, if I was like a child to a firefighter, I would look up to that person so heavy. Like, you literally fight fires. You fight the thing that I'm like absolutely terrified of dying from. Like,
Mhm.
and to just it makes me sad, dude. It makes me so sad. Like,
I think, no, I still don't believe in the death penalty. But if anyone
but it's getting
gets
close.
killed
It's getting
because
close.
of arson, yeah, you're pretty close to me being like,
Well,
well,
They should bring back that
we got a system for this.
They should bring back that one where they like boil hot oil and they just throw people in it.
Oh God! I mean, I'm cruel, but I'm not that cruel. That's just disturbingly wrong.
Well, it's disturbingly wrong to start a fire and have people die from it.
Yeah, but God, I don't even want to watch that. Like, can you imagine being the officer and forced to enact that punishment on someone? Like, all right, push him in. Like, oh God,
Think
no.
of how the guillotine fools
Oh, dude,
felt
the
like.
thing is, though,
You had to
this-
have liked a job
you
like
had to
that.
have been that person to like it. Exactly.
Because I don't know who would just willingly, like, okay, I'm going to look this person in the eyes right now and then shrink. Like, pulling the lever like it's a slot machine.
Crank. Ding,
ding, ding. I scored. And then the heads flop into a basket. Like, what? Like, what do you do with them after? You just throw them out to the crowd as souvenirs or something?
Yeah,
Like,
don't
what do
you
you?
ever think that the way people used to get killed for punishment, don't you think anyone was just like, gross? Like,
I mean,
wasn't there a single person out there who was like, could we just give him a pill? Like, I know they eventually went that route, but it was probably because somebody was just like, this is kind of nasty to watch. And
no, dude, I don't know, because people, like, where states still carry the death penalty, people get rowdy at those things. Like, they sit there with the equivalent of like having a popcorn bucket and like light them up, like, like
that's so crazy.
But they
dude.
do, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, people enjoy that. Like,
Oh, God.
I don't understand why, but they
I
do,
can't-
I guess.
I
Like,
can't enjoy watching someone boil like an egg in front of me. There's no way.
dude, have you, like, I know this is like taking it off course, but
Uh-huh.
have you heard like what they do? Because now they give you lethal injection. which is just like
Yeah, they give you like a shot.
shoot you
and
with like
just-
2 different things. One gives you
Yeah.
like technically a heart attack, and the other one, I guess, like shuts your body down or something like that. But when they were putting people in the electric chair, I didn't know this until recently. They used to, like, to make sure they died, they would wet a sponge and put it on the top of their head and then put the thing on. So then when it would like electrocute them, it would like fry them. Like,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
yeah. I was like, what?
The
Like,
human race are
what?
just animals.
Dude, I don't know. You go
Sick
into
people.
history though, and there's some brutal kill cams, dude. There's
Oh
some
my God.
brutal like
Kill
the-
cams.
Yeah, dude, there's some brutal kill cams out there, man. Like, they're like the Norse did like the blood eagle to people, and they would like. You've never heard of the blood eagle, bro?
I've never heard of the
Dude, so it
blood
was like
eagle.
apparently like one of the worst ways to die. They would like pretty much skin you open alive, and they would like rip your like skin open, and then they would like, I guess, keep it out. Like I would assume they hook it onto something. They like keep it out so it looks like you had wings, and they would just keep you alive. Like it was like you would survive this, and then like birds and stuff eventually would come and like start eating your insides and everything while you were like alive. Yeah. So when I say brutal kill cams, there's some brutal kill cams in history, bro. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
is wow. I am so thrilled that we're talking about all these things, all these ways that people go.
But it's fine because it's like been long enough in history to like kind of chuckle. But like,
Well, because at least they finally made it somewhat humane.
I would hope so. I don't know if I would be able to like. Could you imagine if people did that stuff still? Like that's.
Beheading is such a gruesomely gross thing to me.
I mean, it's
Like,
pretty humane though when you think about it. As
it's
far as like
humane
how
in that
fast
it's
you go.
fast and quick. Like that's it.
But there were some where like if it wasn't the guillotine, people were like cutting your head off with an axe or something, and like all you
Yeah.
got to do is miss or not be strong enough to do it in one motion. And it's like you'd have to live through like maybe like 2 or 3 like
If you go really
hits
far
to the
back,
neck,
it's
like,
even
ugh.
worse on when it comes to speed. If you go real far back and you go to like stonings,
oh
can you
just
imagine?
people throwing rocks at you, bro. Just people throwing rocks at you. Like my God, man. Like
out of ideas.
they're just like, why don't we
Honestly?
just throw pebbles at them? Like why don't we just
Throw it, John.
not even boulders, just let's heave some rocks at this person's
Until
head
they're dead.
until
like,
they die, until one rock hits them
Oh.
in like the wrong place and paralyzes them or some like
wow. We should do an episode on what's the worst
medieval
way to die.
torture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Medieval
yeah.
torture. That's the one.
medieval torture,
That's
man.
the ticket.
I mean, fun fact, in the Dark Ages, in like the medieval ages, because it was so hard to prove that anyone did anything wrong, unless like someone caught you literally in the act of doing it, they made all the punishments so ridiculously like dark and evil to scare people into not doing it, because they knew like if no one witnesses this, then they just get let off, because there's no DNA, there's no like evidence back then. So they would
Yeah, I
purposefully make the
guess.
punishments like absolutely terrible, like those ones where they would like string your hands and your legs,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
would like just crank it until it like I guess pulls you in half or
Pulls
something
you-
like.
Ugh.
But that was like one of those like methods, because they were like, oh, we got to scare all these townsfolk into behaving, because if we can't, then we can't prove anything.
Yeah, but there's also
Like-
just like there's also a part of the human race that I think we're just dumb. Because like people used to burn people for witchcraft, and I think that's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe witchcraft exists. Who's to say? But I don't believe in it.
Well, I can tell you around the Salem witch trials stuff, the reason why people most of the time thought like single women with like cats and everything were witches was because like during the plague times, because they had cats, the cats would eat the rats, and thus we would save them from the plague because, you know, it was contracted by rats.
Mm.
And so when people would see like, what's this single lady with just like this cat or whatever, how is she not sick? But all of us are dying and everything. So they would purposely be like, oh, well, she has to be a witch. So just fucking burn her.
See, but this is what I'm talking
Like,
about. It's just
you know,
like,
they weren't
people
doing
used to
any math.
have
They were
no
not.
brain cells, or at least
No.
not enough to do a full equation.
It was
before-
either that or they just didn't care. They were, you know,
or
I
they
mean,
didn't care.
They didn't
That's
give
true.
a. They didn't
Yeah.
give a
People
about women's rights, dude. I mean, women have only been recently able to vote. Like,
That's true.
you know, so it's like they did not care at all. They were like, oh,
Wow.
single woman, no, you know, partner or whatever. She got some cats. I guess she's a witch. Like, let's burn her to the stake. Like, nah, crazy.
Well,
But
speaking of burning to the stake. Happening again.
Dude, chat, this is the first time this has happened in season 4.
Season 4, the first time. Love it.
God, it's crazy.
What's funny to me, I know that we always like pause for dramatic effect when that happens because we're both caught off guard. But it wasn't confirmed to me that anyone else like who watches us understood what was freaking us out because we never say it out loud
Yeah,
until Efren told me at work. He was like, yeah, and you guys saying the same things at the same time is starting to freak me out. And I was like, okay, good. So it's not
I'm glad
just us.
someone else. I'm glad someone else sees it, man, because it freaks me out just as
Every
much as
time.
it
that
should
one
freak
was
anyone else out.
seriously specific too. Like, the
Speaking
phrasing.
of burning,
Speaking of burning,
that's wild. Well, yeah,
Well, go for it.
2013.
Bring us in.
2013. We got another fire to watch. Play on words. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In 2013, the mountain fire happened in July. And again, Riverside County. This one was near Idlewild and San Bernardino National Forest. So pretty much on the way where the last fire was. I mean, around Cabazon area, like more of the deserty type of area before you hit the mountains to go up to Idlewild. This size was around 27,000 acres. Or 27.5 thousand acres. No fatalities though, which is good. No fatalities, but significant property damage, unfortunately. And again, cause human activity. They don't say arson, but they do think,
so it
you
could have
know.
also been stupid like teenagers like smoking or something.
Yeah,
and then
fuck it,
starting the
yeah.
fire. It could have been anything.
So, I mean, I guess I won't call you a murderer or anything, but be safe. Be safe when you're out here starting fires and making fires or whatever. Like, bring some water. Like, bring water. Make sure you put out. Well, because again, we don't know what happened. If it was a bonfire or something, be smart, bro. Always have a gallon of water with you. Put out your fire. It doesn't matter how low the embers are or whatever, or the charcoal. Just put it over it just in case, You never know. You never know what could happen. And obviously, if it happened like that, 27,000 acres were burned because of it. So, you can never be too careful. The impact, the fire forced pretty much the evacuation of Idlewild in general, which is like crazy. I mean, there's not a lot of people up there, I guess, because it's a mountain town, but like to evacuate the whole mountain is pretty crazy. And obviously the surrounding areas that were around there got evacuated as well. But this included over 5,000 residents. So quite a bit of people had to up and leave their home just hoping that, nothing was going to happen. And it also heavily impacted the local wildlife again, unfortunately. And it threatened popular tourism areas in the San Jacinto Mountains. So, but you always got to be thankful that there are no casualties, though. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, property can be rebuilt, but people can't,
Yeah.
You can never.
Well, that's why I hate so much the fact that people are dying from things like arson, because it's like, what a selfish freaking thing to do.
Dude,
Like
I'm
I know I
not gonna
sound
get
like
over it. I'm not gonna
just
get
a
over it.
beat up old dad right now, but like,
But it
how
is,
can you
dude, like,
be that way?
Because
you know?
again, like, it's not just the people and it's not just their lives and everything, but think of like the wildlife, like, the
Yeah.
ecosystem just gets completely destroyed, and it's not like us, like we rebuild so fast, but animals don't, they.
Mhm.
It just makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Think of some of those trees that have been alive for
Oh,
hundred
my
hundreds of years. Like, think of the
right.
redwoods and stuff like that. I mean, like, those trees, some of the thousands of years, or
Yeah.
it's like the trees don't just come back at that height. They don't. It's just so sad. Like, it's just so sad. Like, how much we destroy the world around us just off of carelessness.
We're just destroyers, bro.
We are.
It's just who we are.
We're not.
We're not.
But
We're not.
but all those other arsonists out there.
All those other humans.
Those dirty humans.
Dirty humans.
I know they're literally destroying our home, bro. Look at that little bear behind you,
Dude, I
bro.
was just gonna say it. Like my uncle Johnny here, he actually has burn scars. I was gonna go for like a whole bit.
It's okay, man. It's
Wasn't
okay.
going
Reel
anywhere.
it back in. Reel it back in. Why don't you hit the next one? Why don't you hit the next one?
Yeah, let's do that. 20. There was the lake fire in 2015. This happened in San Bernardino National Forest near Lake Arrowhead.
So this was like super close to
This
us.
is very close. This was around 31,000 acres in all. Casualties, there were none, thank goodness, but significant property loss and damage. So another one of those moments where like no lives were lost, but a lot of
lives changed.
A lot of lives
changed.
No lives lost, a lot of lives changed. Cause was human activity once again, people being idiots.
I think every single one of these is human activity or arson,
I mean,
bro.
like, you don't have bears out here going like, you know what I'm gonna do today, John?
I'm gonna set this forest on fire. I can promise you, no bears thinking that. I can
No
promise.
bear.
I can
No,
promise.
he's like, I want to scratch my back and eat a fish.
That's all I
I
care
will be
about. That is all I care
satisfied.
about.
The impact, the fire forced thousands of evacuations and led significant damage in the Lake Arrowhead and Crestline areas, including to homes and critical infrastructure. It burned much of the forest land and threatened several mountain communities. Yeah. So that's another one where, like I said, luckily no one died, but I mean, crazy.
At what
how
cost,
close it
like
was
at
and
what cost? Dude. Well, this one is, this one's a pretty big one. I remember this when this one happened. But in 2017, you had the Little Mountain fire. And we're like right up, we're right up at Little Mountain. So it's pretty insane. But that happened in August of 2017. And that was Riverside County, which I low-key think that's wrong now that I'm reading it because Little Mountain is definitely over here. So I'm going to say San Bernardino County because we live right next to Little Mountain. So this is like right in our neck of the woods. But this one was a relatively pretty small one. This is only 1,200 acres. No fatalities. But again, several structures damaged. I know we sound like a broken record because at this point, it's a lot of structures gone, man.
If you
Structures
haven't guessed
gone.
yet, Chad, people are either going to die, they're not going to die. Damage is going to be taking place on structures or not. And likely it'll be more than 10,000 acres.
Yeah. Well, that one wasn't. That was
one was not.
1,200.
I said likely. I said likely. That's actually what made this story pretty, specific.
Yeah. But the cost for this one was unknown, so we don't know. We don't know if this is a person. We don't know if this is arson. We don't know if this just happened.
I always wonder how they find like some of the causes. Like,
dude, some of it's
especially
like
for
insane.
the really big ones. Like obviously you can I could understand how they would trace it back to a general area. But sometimes you get real specific.
But to find the evidence
where
where
you're
it's
like, oh, we found the cigarette that
yeah, and
burned
you're
down
like,
the entire
are you
national
sure? Was
forest. And
that
you're
cigarette? Like, a lot of people smoke. Like,
exactly.
I'm pretty sure people be throwing cigarette butts just on the ground at all times. Like, I don't I don't know how you knew it was that one, but
good on you, man.
good. Yeah, good forensics, I guess. I don't know, but the fire prompted evacuations, obviously, and particularly more in the rural areas of Merino Valley and Paris area, while also threatening the infrastructure of the 215. So,
Wow,
and we drive that every day.
love that.
Yeah, love it.
Another one that we can talk about is the 2020 El Dorado fire. This happened in September of 2020. The location was San Bernardino County near Yucaipa and the Foothill community. It was around 22,000 acres. Thank God, another small one. Most of the ones happening here are pretty light compared to like
It's just a lot.
those
There's just a
crazy
lot of
Southern
fires out here.
Californian ones.
Yeah.
Like, when you get to just all of Southern California,
When you
then it
get to
gets
1 million acres, that's
wild.
wild.
One fighter death, unfortunately, but it was due to a vehicle
Oh,
accident during the
no.
fire. So,
Oh my gosh, bro.
a gender. Oh, this is that one.
Yep.
2020. I didn't even catch it. These mother.
Dude, I will never forget that. This was like
gender
one of those.
reveal party sparked the fire explosive device. Oh my God, I forgot this happened.
Yeah.
I'm so angry now. That's
Dude,
right.
we saw this so much on the news when it
Mhm.
happened too.
The
Yeah.
fire heavily impacted the Yucaipa area, threatening homes and business. It forced thousands to evacuate and caused extensive damage to local environment and infrastructure. Oh my God.
Yeah,
How
so
can
for anyone who doesn't know about this fire either, like this is like so publicly like emphasized, at least in our area. I don't know if it was like widely covered, but yeah, these fools were having a gender reveal party, and then I think they set off fireworks or something, and the firework exploded, and then it just set everything on fire, just like everything on fire, which is just couldn't nah. Nah.
Ridiculous.
Hate people.
Don't get me wrong. I get that it's not arson.
But think things through.
Yeah.
You live in the mountain areas that are dry as hell, like Yucaipa. For chat, I mean, we've said plenty of times where we live, but like I've driven to Yucaipa so many times, and I'm telling you, there's not one patch of land out there that is not just yellow. There is no green. It's all yellow. And if you're living up there, you should probably maybe just maybe not set off fireworks then. Like maybe like
Just potentially.
potentially
You
maybe
could.
just
We'd
don't
appreciate it.
like just don't maybe have some sparklers or something instead and just dip it in water when you're done.
No, I can't do sparklers because I burned my fingies once for 4th of July on sparklers.
How long did you let them get down to where they
It's
could burn
not-
your fingers?
Now here's the thing. It's not that I waited long enough for
Mm.
them, because what actually happened was
Uh-huh. I grabbed it.
I lit like 8 or 9 all in one.
Oh, so this was your
cluster.
fault. This was your fault for sure.
Yeah.
Got it. So you're one of these people that we're talking about right now. Like, don't be a dumbass.
Oh,
And
yeah,
maybe,
no, and
like-
dude, and I was in so much pain and fear.
Well,
Well,
because
here's-
it's fire.
so here's what happened, right? I light. It's like the fire sticks where it'll burn at the top and then slowly go down. But I lit like 8 or 9 of them all at once because I was like, it'll make a bigger fire. It's cool. And this is why I know not to do stupid stuff with fireworks.
This is
ladies and
facts.
gentlemen.
This is facts.
And I lit him. I lit a single one. I was going to, like candles, light
One and then go
the
around.
rest.
Yeah.
But I lit one single one,
And then
it
it
caught to the
whoosh.
rest, and yeah, erupted in flame. And because of how big the fire was, it went down the sticks in a matter of 2 seconds
Oh
to where
my
it
God.
singed my fingers, and I wasn't ready for it,
Maybe.
making me drop it into the grass.
Joey.
I was afraid.
So you're the problem. You
I was
are the problem.
not the problem anymore. I learned from my mistakes.
You're one of the gender reveal fools.
I know.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm a redneck and
You
a
could have
dummy.
dropped it on the cement.
I wasn't thinking like that, bro.
Exactly.
I was
they
afraid.
weren't thinking either.
Yes, but the thing was, I'm male dumb. They're like
They're what?
I don't know. I didn't have a good.
Yeah,
answer.
I was like, come on,
there's
you-
not because it's not a female.
I
dumb.
was
There's
gonna
there's
say, I was
a
like, are you
couple-
gonna for real make a sexist joke
No,
right
it's
now?
not
Like,
a
oh,
sexist
God,
joke, but
let's-
I'm just saying, like, mine was genuinely just a guy being dumb with fire. That's all mine was.
I
But
mean,
it's not an excuse.
honestly, I can't say anything because I will never forget being at the homie's house in Rialto. You were also there, and we thought it would be a great idea to light fireworks.
Oh my
in
God,
the-
that's right.
in the-
He's such a freaking hypocrite.
Hey,
You're
hey,
so full of
hey! We lit those fireworks in the middle of the street. First of all,
Oh my God.
and then this one was on me. I tried to jump over them before they went off into the sky.
You almost lit your ass on
Dude,
fire.
I felt the heat. I felt the heat. I jumped over and it went shoo! Like I was like, oh
So funny.
talk. Yeah, I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a fun time though.
We should have.
Remember oh my God. We also took the we took the little grenade ones and we opened it up, remember? And we put the gunpowder, like 5 of them in one, and then we taped it together.
Can we do an episode
Oh,
where
no.
we talk about guys' nights?
Oh.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, we could have like Jeremy on.
Oh my God.
man.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, none of you guys know, we might have put a hole in our friend Jeremy's wall.
What a great story.
And then because we were in high school and had no licenses, and this happened at like 2 a.m, we dead ass were trying to figure out if we could sprint to Home Depot to get drywall and sprint back and fix the wall before his parents got up
but we
at
came
6.
full circle, bro. Full circle. We have made drywall together and
We have put
built a
up.
wall
We have
over
put
here.
up. We built a wall.
built the wall. We did. Who built the wall?
We did. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised it's still standing.
Yeah, it's good, bro. It's solid. I have
We-
no doubts.
Put enough screws in it.
It's true.
We
We
put
definitely
enough screws in
so
it for
many
sure.
screws in it.
Oh man. Well, let's start wrapping this up, man. We got. Let's look at this 2021, just because I love the name.
Okay.
So in 2021, we had the Cow Canyon fire.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm hoping that no cows got injured in this.
I bet they better not have.
If they did, I'm gonna be really mad because that's a
Never gonna
lot of
forgive you.
steak. It's a lot of steak.
That's why.
It's a lot at stake.
Not for the- Ew, that laugh. It's not for the cows' lives and the torture of them burning to death in the stables. It's because of a bunch of wasted steak. I don't want my steak well
Dude,
done.
there was just a lot at stake. That's all
I
I'm
got
saying.
it. I got the joke.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So the Cow Canyon fire happened in September of 2021. And this one, oh my gosh, this one was also near Cabazon. So where you got your little driving test. And the size was, again, pretty small, 3,000 acres. And no fatalities. But actually, there were no fatalities, and it doesn't look like there were any property damage either, which is pretty cool. But obviously, significant firefighting resources were used and involved for sure. And the cause is under thorough investigation.
Lame.
So we still don't really know exactly what happened there. But, high winds and dry conditions definitely contributed to the spread of the fire. But we do not know how the fire was caused. So this fire threatened communities, again, in San Bernardino area and caused significant smoke impact, which we just love. We just love inhaling
Love that.
smoke, bro. So
It's my favorite.
gotta love it. Well, we got this last one right here.
Okay.
You want to read the apple fire?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that for you, buddy. The apple fire was taking place during July to August of 2020. This was also in Riverside County near Cherry Valley and Beaumont. It was kind of up in there.
Oh yeah,
in the
this one was
size
significantly bigger.
compared to the, what was yours called? The last one,
The Cow Canyon.
the Cow Canyon.
Yeah, that was
fire.
only 3,000.
That was actually pretty small
Yeah.
compared to some of these other ones.
Yeah,
But
this one was 33.
the Apple Fire, yeah, was 33,000 acres. There were no fatalities, thank God, but several structures were threatened. It's not necessarily
Yeah, it doesn't mean
destroyed.
destroyed.
It was likely started by an illegal campfire, so just people being dumb. But you know,
They probably didn't bring a
who
gallon of
doesn't
water.
light an illegal campfire once in a while?
Hey, bro, campfires are pretty much illegal everywhere we go, and
True.
I want a campfire, man. Like I get it, but you know you gotta take precautions again.
Exactly.
Only you
It's-
can prevent wildfires. That's
yeah,
what Smokey
it's-
always says, bro.
It's the fact that you're not taking into account like how to stop the fire if it gets out of hand.
Well, and like half the people, and I'm sorry, maybe we can go into this because we like camping and everything. But how many people do you know don't take the precautions as far as like they don't even move the brush away from the little fire pit they're gonna make. They just like, oh,
yeah.
I'll just surround rocks right here, and then hopefully the fire won't jump over the little pebbles I put to then go onto all the brush that's around
just
it. Like,
dumb. Fire is such a dangerous weapon, but it's such a tool for like
it's such a good tool, and it's such a terrifying, like
Yeah.
out of control thing that could happen in just a matter of seconds. You know, like anything can happen with a fire. But I definitely know where we live. Fire safety has always been a big thing, especially with our families. I feel so. Like, you know, your dad loves outdoors. I grew up, you know, not really in the outdoors, but I always grew up like I've loved the idea of the outdoors and everything. So I'm one of those guys who watches fools make cabins in the middle of the woods for like 45 minutes on like a time lapse or something. But no, you always clear a path. You always make a section where you know this is where my fire is going to be at, and you wet the ground around you. That's the first thing you do, bro. You wet the ground around you, so that way there's no possible way you're going to set a fire around it, you know? And it's so weird. Like, I don't understand. If you take the precautions, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, it shouldn't be that hard of a thing, you know?
People suck and people are dumb, and that's why I hate the whole people, everyone.
That's
all
why
of
we
them.
literally have Smokey the Bear. I'm sure if people weren't dumb with fire, there would be no...
Smokey's actually my cousin.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. He low-key kind of looks like you. Oh, my God. Dude, I need to get you the hat. I need to get you the hat, bro.
Oh God, am I gonna be Smokey the Bear for Halloween next year?
Oh, my God. Joey, please. Please.
We'll see, chat. We'll see. Maybe I'll be Smokey the Bear.
Please do it. Please be Smokey.
To end off the Apple Fire, by the way, I just wanted to talk about the impact the fire led to evacuations, as many of these fires have, particularly around the communities of Beaumont, Cherry Valley, and Cabazon. The widespread smoke severely impacted air quality in the region. But
this is why we have asthma. This is why we have asthma, bro. Oh man, but like in many places in Southern California, these fires were influenced by a combination of factors. Again, just like all the Southern California ones, and you know the IE, all this kind of stuff. It always includes the dry weather. It always includes, you know, the Santa Ana winds. Technically, are always the one that's doing us in as far as spreading the fire, and you know, humans play a big role, unfortunately, you know, as we read right now, just for the Inland Empire, humans were the cause of almost every single fire.
yeah,
Like over here. So it's like, you have to be smart.
or human.
You got to
like,
know fire safety,
human. What's the word?
like human cause, or
Yeah,
like,
involvement.
even if it's like not on purpose. People just don't understand their fire safety. They don't know when is a good time, when it isn't a good time. And unfortunately, like, we all suffer from it, you know. I'm sure kids and everything that were small at this point in time with, you know, these big old fires with all the smoke and everything, it probably impacted their lives, man. It probably, you know, smoke inhalation's real, you know, like it is real. So you got to just think about how many lives are affected, not only just from the fires, but all the long-term effects of like stuff like this, you know? And that's why fire safety is so important. Being smart about what you're doing, where you're going. If you have to have a campfire, do it right. Just do it right. It's not worth the risk, and it's not worth, you know, endangering other people's lives for no reason about it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, again, we'll reiterate our sources. You know, if you guys are in the middle of this fire season right now, especially in Los Angeles, please reach out to All Power Books, reach out to It's Bigger Than Us, reach out to Milo Sanctuary. You know, there are people who are out here who've dedicated their lives at this moment to making sure that people are safe, you know, and making sure that people have what they need and
resources
that they
that they
can,
need.
yeah, you know, and it's like we're, you know, we talk about it a lot, but it's, you know, it's love over everything, man. And you know,
Love,
when
not
you're
hate.
when you're going through all
Woodsmen.
this stuff, you got to show love to your community, the people who are around you, and just, you know, think if something like this happened to you, you lose all of your, you know, your livelihood, your car, your house, all your belongings, all of the personal stuff that you will never be able to get back. Like, I would want someone to be there for me, you know? And so it's all of our job to be there and to take those necessary steps. If you have something that someone needs that you can spare, just spare it, you know? It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. Like, we're all blessed to, you know, I don't know about all of chat, but, you know, with me and you, we're blessed to have a job, you know? We're blessed to have a job. We're blessed to have this podcast, all this cool stuff, you know? But at the end of the day, like, some people have lost it all, you know?
Yeah.
And it's up to, you know, people like us to do our part and help out wherever we can, and to never take a life for granted, because just in a few seconds, you know, one day, that can change your entire life.
It could be a flash, and you have seconds to save like one or two
One thing,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's probably going to be like, we're animal lovers, probably going to be the animals,
The
you know?
dogs, yeah.
And it's like everything else, it's like, well,
Or cats. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a dog guy, but
I'm a cat dad. I'm a cat dad, so
tried to switch to the camera. Sorry.
it's
There you
okay.
go.
There you go. We're cat people in this household, but
I'm a dog guy.
well, let's wrap it up with some discussion, and we'll see you guys soon. So as we wrap this session up, it's been pretty dark, pretty bleak. You know, a lot of sadness, a lot of lives lost, a lot of, you know, destruction. But
Great start to season 4.
great start to season 4, guys. I promise. Next week is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot better as far as the sadness go. Well, maybe.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Next
Well,
week.
you should. We have every
I
topic.
couldn't find the
out,
dog.
but
I
it's-
tried to find it, and I
Well,
couldn't find it. I
join
tried.
us for the next week's topic, where we discuss the third man syndrome. But yeah, I don't know. It depends on which stories we find. But no, I wanted to take it away from the death and all of that stuff. But if you were in a position where you see the fire coming, you know it's gonna hit your house, you only got room for maybe like 3 things, right? And I'm gonna say, to not include the animals, let's just say the animals and everything are already out of the house.
Mm.
What are 3 things that you would try to save the most from anything, you know, in your house? That's like your belongings, you know. You could be selfless and be like, I'm gonna save my parents' wedding photos or anything. No, we're not doing that. Like what are some of your personal effects that you would
How? So, like, is it physically only 3 items, no matter the size? Because I can carry a lot of stuff in my hands.
You got 3 items.
Damn. Okay. 3 items. I feel as though there's got to be like priority, necessity,
And want.
want. I don't, There's a lot of expensive shit in my room.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
tough to say goodbye to in a fire, but there's no way I'd be able to save it all. I think
I'm gonna rip my desktop out of the wall. And
no, I think I would have to probably save my I'm also an adult, so I have to think practically too. I'm thinking about like really important papers that I have in there. You know, like
yeah.
like important documents about my identity and,
Oh,
stuff like that.
well,
I have that
okay,
in my
let's-
bedroom. Because
Ah,
like right now I'm kind of stuck on. I'm definitely going to be taking one of my hard drives because one of my hard drives has pretty much. Now I don't know if I'm going to save both because one has all the Woodsman stuff. One has like memories from like the last 7 to 12 years ish on there, and so I'm definitely going to save the 7 to 12 years hard drives because I don't want to lose those pictures and memories. And
yeah.
projects
No.
and
That
stuff
makes
like
sense. That makes sense.
I'm probably gonna say, I'm definitely saving the monkey toy
Yeah.
that I have had since I was a child because that is just my prized possession, and you know, it's my forever toy. Just like how Eric's daughter's forever
Is the
toy will be
Fugler.
the Fugly, the Fugler. And a third thing. Oh man, honestly. No, I might want to see the technology because that'll be so sad to live without. Yeah, I'll save the PS5.
The PS5, yeah.
So
No, I
there's,
feel that.
there's like priority, which is the monkey, the necessity, which is the pictures, and then like whatever the other word I said was, which is probably just PS5. Want, I think is what we came up with.
Yeah. No, that I feel like that makes sense.
That's
That's a
kind of
good-
where I'm at. It's like
No, that's
I'm
like a good personal list. Like
yeah.
it's like
If
good
you had to pick
personal-
3, what would yours be?
Oh man, if it's like in my house, because I have stuff here
Mm-hmm.
where like if it's
Yeah.
I would definitely pick up before anything else. Let's say it's gonna sound so. I mean, it's gonna sound really corny, but I have a box. It's a shoe box. It's literally called my Ashley box, and it's literally filled with stuff since like pretty much almost the day I met Ashley, and I just keep putting stuff in there. Like I'm talking even small stuff, like menus from like places we've gone out to eat, or like pictures, all that kind of stuff. So I would probably save that because you can't get those back,
Yeah.
and like those pictures and everything. I have a lot of like physical like pictures, a lot of photo booth pictures and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I would save that. Save my '65 Mustang, my guitar, just because that's like
yeah.
it's been my dream guitar since I was like probably like 16, 17. So it's like that boy's got to go with me
That's
for
just
sure.
the one
Yeah,
and done.
that's the one. Out of all the guitars I have, that's the one.
As your friend, I actually don't know how many guitars you own. I have no idea. That's so
I
weird.
have quite a lot. Well, it's because I do a lot of trading too, so it's like I never keep a lot of guitars.
Mm.
But I have around 8
Yeah.
to 10.
Nice.
So yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, I did not know that.
quite a bit. Trying to think what's like a
So your Ashley box,
the
your guitar.
I guess if it was practical, probably like my laptop.
No, I feel
You
it.
know, probably the
It hurt
laptop.
me not to say my desktop because
Yeah.
the desktop. The only reason I went with that flash drive or that hard drive was because I finally did take the time to put all my photos and memories and all that stuff
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
the hard drive, so it's
that's
not even
like
on
real,
the computer.
Yeah.
It's just I'd be losing out on games and
Well, I got to say the laptop because I've already lost the laptop once, and let me tell you, that was a terrible time to not have that. So
I like to imagine that the Woodsman flash drive that has all of our files and everything would be fine because in my work backpack, which I always.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's in my backpack, I'm not really worried because I take it with me pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere, you know. So, and if I said the backpack, I could put a lot of shit in there. So that also, that also takes the cake.
It's true.
But yeah, well, I think it was a pretty good talk, bro. I think it was a pretty good one, especially about just fire safety in general. I think out of anything, like fire safety, that's the one thing we're trying to emphasize
Yeah.
for sure. Because when we're in these type of times where fires are just everywhere right now, the best thing you want to do is just be smart, be safe, But
And it's good to be back.
it's
good to be back
it
in
is
the studio.
quite literally good to be back,
It
guys.
is a brand new year, chat. It's 2025 on the Woodsman. We did it. We made it through an entire year of this
we made
together.
We made it, and we're sorry. We were gonna do another episode of season 3, but Joey got sick.
I got very
Then we
sick, yeah.
I'm talking very sick, and then it was like, well, if we're already gone a week, do we want to just take another, few to get the studio ready and get everything in order for season 4? And we just thought, it's probably the best decision. So we decided to do what's right in terms of giving you guys quality, and I think it was worth it.
It's
it was
gonna
worth
be
it
fun.
for
It's
sure.
gonna be a great season. You guys are gonna love it.
But just because it's a new season doesn't mean we're gonna leave without a question.
Yes, sir.
So Joey, why don't you take it away?
Let's give you a question, chat. If you had only moments to escape from a burning building, what one thing? You only get one thing. We got 3. You only get one.
Yeah.
What one thing would you be sure to save above all else? What prized possession your keepsake would you keep? Let us know. You can comment down below under YouTube or message us at Woodsman Pod on Instagram and X.
Or you can email us on thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com.
And we'll definitely read it because we're on season 4, baby, and no one has still sent us a message.
Baby.
It's not true. We have actually gotten some messages.
We have. So
But you'll have to
don't
wait and
lose
see.
out. Don't lose out,
Thank you
We're
guys.
getting big now.
We're so popular.
We're so popular.
Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode back for season 4 of the Woodsman Podcast. We've been your hosts, Joey Rucker.
And Brent Murphy.
Later, Gators. The Woodsman Podcast is actively reading and responding to anything and everything on Instagram and our email.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the show, or would like to possibly be on the show, you can email us at thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com.
Make sure to keep up with all things Woodsman related on Instagram and X at WoodsmanPod.
Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe to the Woodsman Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, with video exclusively on YouTube and Patreon.
Make sure to follow our personal accounts at Strange Kids and Piemaster J on all platforms. The Woodsman Podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker.
Recorded at Elite Sound Studios, located in the Inland Empire.
Written by Brent Murphy.
Technical support by Eric Bessero.
Video editing by Joey Rucker. And Blood, Sweat, and Tears by all of us.
Any additional content by the Woodsman Podcast may not be used without our permission. Copyright Cabin 13 Productions. And remember, only you can prevent forest fires.